Okay, let's start. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Very good afternoon. So we are here for a very informative session. So why are we here? Can I know from all of you? Why are we here? Why are we here? Come on. Why are we here? Why have you taken your precious 1 hour and joined this webinar? Why? Come on, Preeti, Ved Singh, Nitesh, tell me. Why are we here? That's the first question. For upskilling, very good. Take you on dip on IFRS, very good. What else? What else? Dip IFRS to karenge, yeah, that is given. We'll do dip IFRS and all. Upskilling, very good. What else? Shobin says upskilling. Anything else? People want to say upskilling oneself in terms more learning. Okay. Shobin, very good. What else? What else? What else? What else? Come on, guys. Monologues not allowed with Ramanujam. There are certain rules of the game. Monologues not allowed. Right? So why are we here? To upgrade our skills and knowledge. Very good. What else? Come on. No monologues allowed. Impact of lockdown on the financials. Very good. To enhance knowledge, Amol. Okay. I'm sure we'll be able to do justice to this. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Come on, guys. Come on. क्यों हैं? आज क्यों आए यहाँ पे? There might be many practicing chartered accountants. Corona impact, if any, in IFRS. Very good, Yogesh. Okay. Okay. He wants to know what is the Corona impact. Very good. What else? There'll be practicing chartered accountants. There'll be people representing the industry. There'll be people who will be heading organizations. There'll be people who will be financial controllers. There'll be people who will be representing accounts payable. There'll be people who will be representing accounts receivable, right? To know about recent changes in business world. Very good. Brainstorming. Shabash. Okay. In this lockdown, we expand our financial knowledge. As this is the perfect time, we have a breather space. Very good. The agenda is already set. The expectation is set. We are going to look at dealing with challenges, lockdown challenges for Ind AS and IFRS reporting. That is going to be the agenda. And as a part of that, let me first introduce myself. I'm Ramanujam Narayan. I'm a subject matter expert in IFRS, US GAAP, and Ind AS. Seedha Sada Admi hu. I have been one of you. I have spent my 12 precious years in the industry with companies like TCS, HCL, Citigroup, Geometric, and a couple of listed companies as well. Handled a couple of transformation projects in terms of M&A transactions. Have handled several IFRS implementations over there. Spearheaded the entire implementation project with TCS in 2011 when Murli Manohar Joshi was the Public Accounts Committee head, and also in Geometric headed the entire IFRS implementation game. I have one book to my credit in the form of Ind AS balance sheet, which is a simplified version of Ind AS what I have written along with Vishal Thakkar. Vishal Thakkar is our CEO, and he's a celebrity in the finance world with his own YouTube channel known as Finance Tube. So this is something about me, and I have 11 plus years of corporate experience. I'm an adjunct faculty with Jindal Global University. I can go and speak about me, but that is not the agenda, right? And I am unfortunately the CFO of this organization as well, which is Quantetra. Now, fortunately and unfortunately, you can presume to know more about impact of IFRS and one-time entries to be passed. Understood? Hi, Namrata. Okay. Okay, in the past, I have trained more than 1,500 professionals to sharpen themselves on numbers and make them high-performing individuals. So my area of expertise has been IFRS, US GAAP, Ind AS, SOX, financial reporting, M&A transformation projects, and any area linked to finance is what I have a passion upon, and I drive people towards that. This is only a knowledge building initiative what we have taken as Quantetra. So let me put it straight. Okay, the agenda is not to sell anything to you, but end of the day to build a knowledge community, because our core model is something else. We do large implementations for listed companies in the field of IFRS. We have done IFRS implementations for companies like SGSC, Aditya Birla, Shriram Housing, Sama Technologies, Cyformix. We have worked with one of the largest banks in UAE. We regularly work with SDFC Securities. We regularly work with Aero Green Tech. We regularly work with Onward Technologies. All these are listed companies on the stock exchange. That is something about us. So we do a lot of implementation projects in IFRS 9, IFRS 15, IFRS 16, large projects on the review side. We do a lot of US gap projects with US companies. We do a lot of, closing support related engagements with companies. That is our first vertical. We do a lot of mentoring engagements with SMEs. We have more than 10 SMEs now with whom we are working on, mentoring them and transforming their organization up to a valuation level. That is what our core model is. What we thought is, why don't we, build this knowledge community through which we can build the expertise in the finance professionals, right? Because the core of every finance professional is knowledge. All of you agree to me? The core of every finance professional is knowledge. All of you agree? Jitna milo, utna kam hai. So as far as knowledge is concerned, okay, be selfish in acquiring knowledge, be selfless in giving knowledge. That is what I believe in. And this is something which Vishal has taught me, right? Be very selfish in gaining knowledge, be very selfless in giving knowledge. We'll talk about all this, Harshit. For sure, we'll talk about all this. So finance is all about building knowledge acumen. All of you agree to me, yes or no? Come on. Yes, Prerna says yes. Tejas says yes. Preeti says yes. What about others? Let me hear from all of you. I told you it should not be the monologue. Right? Finance is all about building knowledge. All of you agree to me, yes or no? Yes, Kamal Kishore says yes. Okay, Harshit says yes. Ved says yes. Thanks. All of you feel the same. Okay. Right? Yes, good. These are some of our clients. We regularly work with Godrej, Carnival, JLT, Jardine Lloyd Thompson, MasterCard, Dassault, Megalife. These are list of clients. These are only few of our clients. I can keep on taking names, but that is not the agenda also. It is only to give a context that we carry a lot of credentials with us and we are not someone who just gets up and does webinar. Okay, that's the overall objective. This is not arrogance, but this is something what we have achieved so far. After 11 years of industry experience, I realized that finance professionals spend majority of their efforts in doing operational work without adequate time to upskilling their knowledge to the extent required. I want to see on the chat window. All of you agree to me, yes or no? One moment comes GST भरना है, one moment comes TDS भरना है, one moment comes quarter close आ गया, one moment comes to learn TDS monthly reporting आ गया, one moment comes end of the day. Okay, end of the day, what we realize, हमने क्या किया? Month closing, quarter closing, annual closing. इसके अलावा कुछ किया नहीं किया. If it is an MNC, if you are a subsidiary of an MNC, go on a monthly basis, fill the reporting pack without understanding what goes into this from a US GAAP, from an IFRS perspective, without understanding what goes into this, just fill the reporting pack and give it to the headquarters. Am I right? It's a genuine problem. I have been a global financial controller of a listed company. It is a monotonous work. I have suffered that monotony, Harshit. Yeah, I have suffered. Everyday kick लाना है तो politics में जाओ. Right? But finance में भी हम लोग बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं to upskill ourselves. Right? Let us see how. We cannot focus on strategic priorities because of time spent on compliance, controls, reporting, and cost rationalization. Am I right? Absolutely, Nitesh. All of us have done this. I have filled the reporting pack for 6 years and given it to Citigroup. We cannot focus on strategic priorities because of time spent on compliance, controls, reporting. Okay, my IFC, my statutory audit, my GST audit, my EA 2000, my service tax audit. यही तो चलता है. हम और कुछ कहाँ करते हैं? What else do we do? Come on. All of you are my finance friends, okay? And I have been one of you, I have already told you, so we can be on the ground and talk to each other. There might be some controllers and CFOs. You'll have to excuse me about my probably language or the way in which I'm speaking, but I have been one of you, okay? I have been an executor throughout my life. Absolutely, without knowing what actually goes into the reporting pack in terms of adjustments. We cannot delegate responsibilities due to lack of necessary skills in the finance team members. All the controllers and my senior friends, we don't delegate, getting scared that, kuch gadbad kar dega to kya hoga. Am I right? If he screws up something, then what will happen to the overall reporting? Thanks, Nitesh, for the compliment. Okay. Cannot delegate responsibilities due to lack of necessary skills in the finance team members means I will never pass on the work to others. Okay, fearing that something gets screwed up, I'll be held responsible. ये होता है. So we tend to keep everything with us. Am I right? Or am I right? We cannot delegate responsibilities due to lack of necessary skills in the finance team members. Yes, absolutely true. Shobin says, what about others? What about others? Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I want to see 96 yeses. I have 96 people on this webinar now. यही होता है, बिल्कुल नुपुर, यही होता है. मेरे साथ भी जिंदगी में यही हुआ है. हम कोई भी एक दूसरे से अलग नहीं है. Okay. And lastly, we do not evaluate the need of technology to reduce efforts, and hence generally generally open to adopting new technology. Am I right? We hardly focus on adopting new technology for our daily work. अरे ये automate हो गया तो मेरा क्या होगा? I don't want to automate fixed assets verification. I don't want to automate lease accounting. Okay, I don't want to automate the consolidation. I want to continuously do Excel, and Excel. कंपनी है, कंपनी भी कंपनी से एलिमिनेशन, टोटल गुडविल एडजस्टमेंट, माइनॉरिटी एडजस्टमेंट, सब अपना ब्रह्मास्त्र यूज करके, दैट इज एक्सेल. एम आई राइट? एक्सेल इज आवर ब्रह्मास्त्र, नो, फॉर फाइनेंस गाइस. ऑल ऑफ यू एग्री? यस और नो? यस और नो? चलो चलो चलो, बोलो बोलो बोलो. द ऑब्जेक्टिव इज नॉलेज शेयरिंग, नो? इफ यू गाइस डोंट रेस्पॉन्ड, देन व्हाट इज द पॉइंट? आवर ब्रह्मास्त्र एज फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल्स इज एक्सेल. यस और नो? Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for responding. Okay. Let's see the challenges in COVID-19 and the book closure. We have already started working virtually from home. Working from home, what is the single biggest risk? Can you tell me from we have a lot of IFC procedures. My voice is breaking. Amit, is it clear now? Is my voice audible to everyone? Is my voice audible to everyone? Yes, yes. Okay. After virtually working from home, which is the single biggest risk from an organization standpoint? From an organization standpoint, which is the single biggest risk? Working hours extended, that is your personal standpoint. Okay. Working from home, from an IFC environment perspective, okay, from an IFC environment perspective, isn't it the biggest risk that all the data is residing at your home? Okay, in your local server, it is not on the office server. Okay, you can share it with anyone. Anyone can come to your house. Infosec, data breach, absolutely. Tracking teams, you cannot. Can you get into dual employment also sitting at home? Which company can come and catch you? If you continue to work from home and if you work for two companies, how will they come to know? All these are control issues. What has emerged? Physical control failure, absolutely, absolutely. It is impossible to monitor Sukumar. Yes. So there are control issues to start with. Chindan disturbance, Shobhan, that is our personal issue here. Oh yeah, no, Vishal, not really. I'm not giving ideas to anyone. Finance guys, unfortunately, how many of you have experienced a situation that you are being blamed in statutory audit and internal audit, but the mistakes are of other departments and other functions? How many of you have faced a situation where you are being blamed in statutory audit, in internal audit, but actually it is a mistake of other functions? Like HR, there will be a screw up in payroll. There will be an accounting issue in the payroll. There will be accounting issue in the payroll data. There will be a fixed assets control lapse from the admin side. But ultimately, you have to face the statutory auditor. You have to face the board. You have to face the audit committee. Who is responsible for the governance? End of the day. End of the day, who is responsible for the governance? Come on. Akhilesh, I think your network is a problem to a certain extent. Arshia has faced it. Nitesh has faced it. Shobin has faced it. Others, you're not faced a situation where you're being blamed in statutory audit, internal audit because of the mistakes of others or the control issues of others? Yeah, board of director, obviously. Yeah, all of you have come across that situation where you are being held responsible for the screw-ups done by others. Everyone has faced it. Let us accept it. Yeah, let us accept it. Finance team is responsible. Absolutely. Anything and everything what goes wrong from a governance standpoint in an organization, we are responsible. We are responsible. We are responsible. इसको पल्ले बांध लो. Throughout the period, okay, आप जब तक मेरे साथ जुड़े हो, मैं हमेशा फाइनेंस का रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेता हूं एंड मैं बोलता हूं फाइनेंस हर एक चीज के लिए रेस्पॉन्सिबल है. या so these are the practical challenges typically what is going to come because of COVID-19. The first and the foremost challenge is going to be on the going concern side. I have read several articles. I have basically dealt with several companies, and everywhere I get to understand the same situation that auditors are looking at a going concern qualification predominantly on the SME side, predominantly on the mid-size organization, जिसका पूरा market China पे और exports पे dependent था. For them, definitely there is going to be a going concern issue, because going concern issue means I don't have enough working capital. I am sensing that I will not be able to handle this organization anymore. The auditors are open to qualify. So there are two things what you have to do. You have to take a comfort letter from your parent entity, right? Or you have to clearly give the projections that how we are going to make profits and how are we going to sustain the operations. Okay. So basically, you can take a comfort letter, or you can take a promoter guarantee. Either of the two things has to be done as auditors for evaluating the going concern issue. Then you have events, after the reporting date, subsequent event. Now 31st March se leke ab tak, we are continuously trying to see what are the kind of issues that is going to happen because of this COVID. Your factories have closed. Your goods, whatever was lying, is still not delivered. Okay. Your goods, whatever you had sent to your customer, that is also not delivered. So it would really depend on the shipment terms. It would really depend on the shipment terms what you have, and based on that, the revenues will get impacted. So events happening after the reporting date is going to play an important role. Certain board meetings have already got postponed. So something which was existing as of 31st March, till the date of board meeting, everything has to get adjusted. So we don't know, due to this COVID, what kind of adjustments are going to come as a part of subsequent events. All of you with me? So far, so good. All of you understanding? Where am I coming from? Come on, guys. Going concern and subsequent event is going to be one of the largest issue. All of you agree? Yes or no? Yes, Shobin says yes. What about others? Namra says yes. Nitesh says yes. Priyanka says yes. Good. What about others? Come on. Ganesh, Sukumar. I want 100 yeses. Yeah. Could we get soft copy of this presentation? Of course, Anand. You will get everything. At Contactra, we believe in sharing and caring. Don't worry. We are not people who will keep everything with us. Leke jao. We'll give presentation, we'll give recording, we'll give everything. Don't worry. Okay. So the next issue what comes to my mind is relating to expected credit loss. Okay. While I'm speaking to you, I'm doing one of the largest implementations for a large NBFC in Kerala. Okay. Now suddenly they got a notification from RBI. Till now, hear it out very carefully. You are there to gain knowledge. 1 hour, I need undivided attention. That is a very fair expectation. 1 hour, undivided attention. Okay. Now, that is an NBFC. Okay. Now, they got a notice from the RBI suddenly, and RBI has sent a notification to all the NBFCs that till now, whatever you are practicing from an NDS perspective, okay, that was as per RBI norms of provisioning from an expected credit loss model or provision for doubtful debts, whatever you used to do. Now, suddenly today, or say in March end, they sent a notification. Your provisions also has to be as per Ind AS 109, which means any additional provision has to be parked in a reserve account called impairment reserve. Now already the NBFCs and for banks, basically it has been perpetually deferred from an implementation standpoint. As far as Ind AS is concerned, for NBFC 18-19 is the first year of implementation. So half of the companies have already implemented. Second phase got over in March 20. But suddenly in March 20, the RBI has woken up and said that all your reportings as far as RBI reporting is concerned, okay, should be as per Ind AS. That was not the case previously. Okay. So all your reporting also has to be aligned to Ind AS reporting only. So from an expected credit loss model, here is a situation where I have to stop using the RBI norms and I have to build the ECL model completely myself. Okay. And there is going to be a lot of changes in the expected credit loss when it comes to COVID. The assumptions are going to change. The discounting is going to change, right? The staging is going to change, because something which was standard, that is going to become substandard because of the non-repayment of borrowers. Something which was non-standard is going to move to NPA. because of the non-repayment capacity of borrowers. All of you agree to me, yes or no? All of you agree to me, yes or no? All of you with me? Bolo, bolo, bolo. All of you agree to me so far? Only Priyanka agrees that ECL is going to significantly change because of the mix in staging. Something which was standard will move to substandard. I am not even talking the accounting language because I believe in a simple philosophy. I believe in a simple philosophy. Note it down, note it down, note it down. Every accounting transaction has got a commercial substance. Every accounting transaction has got a commercial substance. That is what I reiterate in every session that I take. I am very clear when I say this, right? Then there is going to be several impacts like fair value measurement will undergo a change. Your accounting and IFC issues will be there because we already said that when the offices are actually going to start, all of you are going to have this bunch of invoices which you are going to punch, and there is going to be several mistakes. Whatever TDS you have already booked on 30th April, you will have to suddenly reopen all of them. The accounts payable guys, something which is already received in the bank account. You will have to reconcile the cash applications, whatever you have done, right? So it is going to be a mammoth task from that perspective, right? The other challenges are going to be obtaining data from the subsidiaries located across the globe. How many of you have subsidiaries across the globe? So you will face issues in obtaining data from them, especially Italy and the European countries and US. So you will have to basically take a judgmental call and see to it that you get the data on time and take certain positions and take certain assumptions, and based on that finalize the data and at least use it for audit purposes. Getting the financials audited is going to be another big challenge. While some companies like Infosys, TCS have already got their accounts audited, to my surprise, offline, I would not like to comment on the quality of audit or the governance that was applied. Of course, all of them are matured enough to understand how important it is. Your parent is in UK and they would be facing several issues, Nitesh, I'm sure. And you have the other problem. You have to submit the financials to UK, which you would have already done for the December year-end reporting. Okay. Now, the next point is quantifying the impact of COVID-19 for MIS, because you have several stakeholders with you. Because when you present your MIS, when you present your management deck, you will have to carve out something known as an exceptional item because of COVID. What is the revenue impact that you had if you're working in an e-commerce company? Okay, the sales returns are going to increase significantly because your goods, whatever you had sent, in some form or the other, it will be returned to you. It is very clear, right? So sales return is going to play an important role. And like that, there are several impacts what is going to be there from an MIS perspective. Seeking extension, leeway, relaxation from lenders. Okay, this is something what every business is doing after COVID-19. Supporting customers and employees, stakeholder management, debt covenants. For example, if you have several investors, if you have a PE, okay, you select in your life, right? Either I will answer the PE or work. So many people like us select that we want to answer the PE, so we onboard investors. So in this COVID, every alternate day I have to send the PNL, I have to send the cash flow, I have to send the balance sheet to the PE so that he can screw me. That what is happening. He also knows that due to COVID situation, things are really not normal, but still he will challenge on revenue, still he will challenge on cash flows, still he will ask for all the reports from us. Yes or no? Is the management saying that, okay, beta, you are in the COVID environment, reports, if it gets delayed, that is fine? ऐसे अप्रोच कोई ले रहा है क्या? Some leeway will be there. आज नहीं तो 2 दिन बाद दो, लेकिन मत दो, ऐसे कोई बोलता है? All of you agree to me? The management expectations, the PE expectations don't change. Yeah? All of you have to agree to me. Yeah? All of you agree? Obviously. One of the major change is going to be on the lease accounting front. Okay. Now, many of you pay attention to this. Many of you would have gone to the landlord, would have gone to the lessor and said that, we are going to vacate the premises. We want a certain leeway, or if we have to continue, we want some discounts. Your landlord says, okay, you can take the discount. I give 50% waiver to you, and 50% you can pay only for the first 3 months. Next 3 months, you pay 70%. After 6 months, you pay me full rent. Okay. Now, here is the situation. You already adopted Ind AS 116 and IFRS 16. And suddenly, this concession has come on the rental side. All your ROU asset, all your lease liability will undergo a change, was the presumption which was there. You look at the situation what this COVID has brought on the accounting side. But then a notification came from the IASB and the ICAI saying that no, ROU asset and lease liability should stay as is, What you have to do is, you have to basically open a new account known as a variable expense account. ROU is right to use asset, Nitesh. It is as per IFRS 16. When we go to the detailed IFRS, we can study over there. This is a summary. Okay. So lease accounting is going to undergo a significant change. Okay. Guys, let me tell you today, छाती ठोक के बोलता हूँ, IFRS has become a necessity. It is no longer a luxury. IFRS is a necessity. It is no longer a luxury. Why I say this is, a chartered accountant, a finance professional need to understand a quality of triangulation. What is the quality of triangulation? Can someone tell me? What is the quality of triangulation? Does IFRS impact only your accounting books? Can someone tell me? Does IFRS impact only your accounting books? Does IFRS impact only your accounting books? Who can tell me? When I talk about triangulation, what does it mean? Come on, guys. Broader view of finance. Very good, Shobin. What else? Triangulation. Yes, Nitish, I'm asking what is triangulation quality that every finance professional has to develop? What is triangulation? Come on, fast. Shobin says broader view of finance. IFRS, does it impact only accounting? Does it impact something else also? Come on, let me have your views. Come on. Namrata, yeah, what is triangulation? Amol, Ekta, Renuka, Ganesh, bolo, Shraddha. Validation, okay, what kind of validation, Amit, we are talking about over here? Taxation, very good, Ekta, superb. IFRS does not impact only accounting, it impacts taxation also, it impacts RBI compliances also, it impacts your SEBI compliances also, it impacts your ROC compliances also. A particular transaction has got several antennas. Substance over form, absolutely. A single transaction has got several implications on the accounting front, on the tax front, on the valuation front, on the SEBI front, on the ROC front, on the RBI front, right? It impacts each and every regulation. It impacts each and every aspect of business. Do you agree to me? Yes or no? No one can disagree to me. I'm sure about it. You agree to me? Yes or no? It does not impact only accounting, but it impacts the larger aspects of business as well. It impacts the investor communication. It impacts taxation. It impacts ROC. It impacts RBI. It impacts SEBI. It impacts everything. Right? So welcome friends. Need of the hour for the finance professionals is triangulation capability and build your skills as per the upcoming challenges which you are going to have. Today IFRS has come, GST has come, demonetization has come, tomorrow something else will come, day after tomorrow something else will come. We don't have a choice but to upskill ourselves. Simple. Accounting and IFC issues which we have already seen. Tax implications, suddenly हमारे बहन जी जो हमारे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर है, विद ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट टू निर्मला सीतारामन, शी सडनली अनाउंस दैट 25% effective September 19 or June 19 or whatever, the tax rate has come down. Okay, very good. All of us were happy, correct? What is the implication, guys? Suddenly tax rates came down. Okay, whatever I had, listen to me carefully. Whatever I had disallowed in my previous years at the rate of 34%, this time when I make payments, actual payments under 43B40, I'll get an allowance at 25%. बेवकूफ़ी है. Larger implication on the accounting books. Deferred taxes, which I had recognized at 34%. Deferred tax asset, which I had recognized at 34%. Suddenly, the entire deferred tax will get reversed and it will stand at 25%. Significantly, your P&L charge will go up, your effective tax rate will go up, your tax P&L will go up. Are you guys with me? Are you guys understanding what I'm trying to say? You would of course not understand what is deferred tax, but suddenly whatever you are disallowed in previous year, at 34%, you will get an allowance only at 25%. Is it a cash loss? Yes or no? 100 people. I want to see a yes. Prakash, Amol, Ganesh, Kalicharan, bolo. Bolo. The tax rates which have come down, it is actually impacting organizations because my deferred tax asset will get reduced, okay, and my allowances will get reduced, isn't it? All these are practical aspects which we speak. I am not interested in discussing theories at all, right? Impact on transfer pricing is going to be significant because all my cost plus captives which are there in India, okay, whomsoever was charging 15% and 16%, if their global margins is getting impacted, your India margins also have to get impacted. So you can make it 10 to 12%. Food for thought. Think about it. Change your margins, whatever is there. If your global margins are getting impacted, your margins definitely will get impacted, right? Think tank on transfer pricing for MNCs, cost plus entities needs to rethink. Safe harbor rules have to be evaluated. APA impacts also will get impacted because whomsoever had applied for APA, the rollback provisions will also change accordingly. Valuations will get impacted because my discounted cash flow analysis, whatever I used to do, whatever I used to do and based on which the valuation used to come, that is going to get impacted significantly. My impairment analysis will undergo a change. My goodwill impairment will undergo a change, right? Because something where the projections was 100 crores, suddenly if that becomes 50 crores, my goodwill impairment is going to be there. My impairment allowances will be there. My discounting factor has to change based on the economic turmoil. My projection increase, whatever I had taken will change. Accordingly, my entire enterprise value and fair valuation will come down. All of you are with me, yes or no? All of you are with me, yes or no? Yes, no. My valuations will get impacted significantly. My discounted cash flow will get impacted significantly. My fair valuation and my enterprise value will come down, barring pharmaceutical company and essential services, of course. Yes, all the industries are going to get impacted. We don't have any second thought. Good, Mohammed, I am liking that you have interacted. Good, Parvesh. Good, Kamal Kishore. Good, Ashish. What about others? Come on, come on. Good, Padmini. Audit issues are going to be there. Good, Amol. Okay. Force major clauses have to be reevaluated in the contracts. Risk of material misstatement needs to be evaluated further. The hedge accounting assumptions. Okay. Hedge accounting, the clear aspect is your variability in cash flows. Okay. Your variability in cash flows exactly needs to reconcile with the variability in derivative. Okay. My future cash flows, if I am not going to receive the future cash flows, my hedge accounting will undergo change. Hedge accounting is a concept under IFRS 9, okay, and Ind AS 109. So hedge accounting will also undergo change. So everything that you are doing on the accounting side will undergo change because of this COVID. Okay, going concern issue we have already studied. Physical stock counting is going to undergo change. Your insurance related recovery, there is going to be many companies. Let us be very honest and blunt to each other. Many companies are going to do bogus insurance claims. From a recovery standpoint, if you're statutory auditors, look at the documentation very carefully. Whatever documentation you get from the insurance recovery department, triangulate that. If you're a finance professional, don't allow your business to do something wrong, is what I would suggest. That is my principle. And if you're doing it carefully. Evaluating all contracts diligently, having potential exposures. Contract analysis is very important at this point of time. Revisiting the ECL model. These are some of the implications on the audit side. Statutory timelines have extended. Okay, SEBI again came with a notification that instead of 30th June, now they are expecting the filings to be done by 31st of July. That is another extension which companies have got. Extensions of quarterly closures to companies, AGM related extensions. SEC related extension is already there. DCF is discounted cash flow, Nitesh. DCF is discounted cash flow. 6K, 8K, 10K and 10Q extensions have already come from a US perspective. Other practical aspects being faced, IPO related cases and related implications. Your IPOs have got delayed significantly. And even if now you take out the IPO, I cannot comment on the valuation. Classification of financial instruments will undergo a change because something which was at amortized cost that can come to FVTPL or FVOCI. Shortening of PPE will be there. Impact on pharma R&D expenses, right? Impact on pharma R&D, COVID-19 ke kharche, whether you will capitalize, whether you will charge off in pharmaceutical companies, food for thought, right? because research expenses can be capitalized? No, it has to be charged off to P&L. Development expenses can be capitalized. Okay. Several contract cancellation of leases. Okay. Impairment of assets and goodwill, and revenue recognition. Revenue recognition will undergo a significant change, predominantly in the e-com industry, predominantly in the retail industry, predominantly in the service industry also. Okay, your revenues will go down. As a result of that, you will have to reconsider the accruals that were done on 31st March 2020. Am I right or am I right? Yes or no, guys? Revenue recognition will also undergo a change. Yes or no? Yes, Ganesh says yes. What about others? What about others? Revenues will get impacted. Yes, Amol. What about others? Good, Shobin. So all of you agree that the revenue recognition also will undergo change. Good, Sairam. Okay, very important question. When was the last time you consciously took out time to upskill yourself? A tough question to all of you. When was the last time you consciously took out time to upskill yourself? When was the last time you consciously took out time to upskill yourself? This lockdown, only in COVID-19. Very good, Chauvin. Come on, be honest, all of you. You can write what you feel. Very rare because we do routine things more. Yes, Nitesh, absolutely. I also used to do routine things only. And that's why I decided my career path very clearly that I don't want to, be that monotony guy who does only a common things every day. Not able to, Parvesh. Yes, Ekta, lockdown. Correct. Before I change my job. Okay, Sairam. During lockdown. Okay. Prashant Sawan is actually now in COVID situation. Okay. So only during COVID you remember that you have to upskill yourself, right? That's a good thing, but a bad thing also. Okay. So logically, upskilling is a continuous affair. Okay. It's been 4 years since Ind AS, that is converged IFRS, has been adopted by India. Do you have the IFRS diploma to match this requirement? If not a diploma, do you have the working experience to prepare Ind AS and IFRS compliant financial statements? Bolo. Do you have the working experience how IFRS and Ind AS works? Okay, how the triangulation happen, how it impacts the other laws, how it impacts the other regulations, how it impacts taxation? Do you have the necessary knowledge? No. What about others? Be honest, come on. No. Okay. No, no, no. अरे एक जन तो yes बोलो. Someone would be knowing, right, about IFRS and Ind AS? Excellent, Amit. So I got one candidate who is DIP IFRS from ACCA. So probably he would second my thought to what I say now. So how many of you want to be fully equipped with necessary knowledge while closing your books going forward as per international standards? How many of you want to upskill yourself seriously? Let me have an answer. Put yes if you are serious. Yes, serious, bolo. I know. I also used to have only theoretical knowledge. Yes, Ekta, I got 1. I got 2, Parvesh. 3, 4, 5, my God. 6, 7, 8, 9. What about others? Come on. Yes. So many yeses. So this is the Chakravyu of finance professional, which I'm sure all of us face this in our daily routine life. Okay, I have done my bill booking, I have done my payments, I have done FB60, FB53, F-53, all clearings in SAP, everything I have done. Okay, all that mundane task, all that accounts receivable, cash application, advance receipt from customer, value date 31st December, receipt date 5th January, all that kachra. ओके, फाइनेंस ऑपरेशन पे जो करना है मैंने सब किया हुआ है. इसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ चक्रव्यूह ऑफ फाइनेंस इज वेरी सिंपल. Many times people learn and they forget to apply in their daily routine. People apply, but they fail to review the results. They review, but they fail to make an action plan. People make the action plan, but fail to take action. And people take action, but are not consistent. We fall in this category. All of you agree? Yes or no? All of us agree to this, that we try to take action sometimes, but we are not consistent. We are not consistent. Am I right or am I right? Come on. I want to see 91 yeses. Come on. Agree. Agree. Yes. Okay, good. What about others? All of us are sailing in the same boat. All of us are sailing in the same boat. Okay? All of us will have to agree to each other, because at some point of time, I have also been a part of you. Consistency is lacking absolutely. Okay? But there are three keys to break the loop. Okay, let us understand one by one. I want you to just be interactive and give answers to these three questions what I have, very simply. Okay? Key number one, how many of you feel that the auditors are only responsible to certify the financials and we don't have any responsibility? How many of you feel? If you feel yes, then write Y, and if you say no, then write N. Are only auditors responsible, or even we are responsible? Let me see how many of you are matured finance professionals. Okay, I will not put it as professionals. No, very good. I got one answer. Very good, Ekta. Very good, Parvesh. Very good, Shobha. Very good, Anmol. Very good, Ganesh. Very good. All of you say no. All of you say no. Fantastic. 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 Please remember, as finance professionals, we are responsible for company financials and its implication. We have transformed the entire organization, okay, which I'm talking about in Kerala, and handled their staff entirely, okay, because they were also of the same attitude and opinion, where they said that, no, this auditors will do this, that he will do that, he will do. We transformed the entire organization. As of today, before the board meeting, the finance department themselves close the entire books, gets it audited, and take the entire responsibility of numbers. That is what we achieved. Okay. Key number two, how many of you think that IFRS, US GAAP, and Ind AS is actually a complex set of reporting? Come on. How many of you think that Ind AS, IFRS, US GAAP, SOX is actually a complex set of reporting? How many of you feel that? Come on. We have only 15 minutes to go. Yes, it is. Okay. What about others? Till now, yes, it is. Amit Bajaj says, yes, it is. I'm surprised. He has done his DIP IFRS. Still, he's saying it is difficult. IFRS is completely principle driven. US GAAP is rule driven. Ind AS is also principle driven. Okay, Indian GAAP is maja aata hai, dil chahta hai. Okay, no accounting standard or complex. Okay, but nowadays lot of people make it complex. And if any of my students are there in the call, they will say that how easy we do. The sessions are so easy with us, right? That is our USP, which stand for simplification. Guys, it is not a complex set of reporting. Business drives the accounting, and accounting does not drive the business. Okay, so let me tell you, after introduction of this IFRS 15, many of my clients had to restructure their contracts from a revenue perspective. Okay, that is the kind of implication what it has, but it is not at all a complex. It is very logical set of standards which we have. And always remember, every accounting transaction has got a commercial substance. आज का मंत्र है ये. आज के बाद जाओगे ना, ये हमेशा याद रखना, लाइफ पूरा मेरे साथ जुड़े रहोगे कि नहीं रहोगे, लेकिन लाइफ पूरा याद रखना, एवरी अकाउंटिंग ट्रांजैक्शन हैज गॉट अ कमर्शियल सब्सटेंस. उसके बिना जिंदगी अधूरी है. एवरीथिंग स्टार्ट्स विद डेबिट एंड एंड्स विद क्रेडिट इन लाइफ. तुम M&A में जाओ, ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में जाओ, फाइनेंस करो, मैनेजमेंट अकाउंटिंग करो, ओके, टैक्सेशन में जाओ, इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंकिंग में जाओ, RBI में जाओ, डेबिट क्रेडिट नहीं समझेगा तो कुछ नहीं होएगा, गारंटी. How many of you feel that finance team is all about postmortem of last year's numbers? especially controversial in revenue recognition. Absolutely, Amit. IFRS 15 is the new standard. How many of you feel finance team is all about postmortem of last year's numbers? Means numbers आया, last year का postmortem किया और ऐसे ही मतलब proof read किया, annual report दे दिया. क्या यही हमारा काम है? Do we really feel that it is all about postmortem of last year's number? Yes. Is it postmortem of last year numbers? I'm surprised to see some of you are saying this. Some of you are saying this. What about others? It is not at all a postmortem of last year's numbers. Some of you are saying this because we feel that end of the day everything comes to me at the last. ट्रांजैक्शन हो जाता है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन हो जाता है, रेवेन्यू अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में हो जाता है, उसके बाद मेरे को खाली अकाउंटिंग एंट्री के लिए आता है. That's the reason we feel that it's a postmortem. But it depends on us. How do we want to get involved in decision making, right? Because finance was always there, finance is there, and finance team will always be there. Robotics and automations cannot structure deals, cannot do M&A transactions. Okay, M&A transactions, strategic thought process, intellect cannot be done by robots, but the key is upskilling, right? So guys, how is the Josh? CFO role is more to how to manage business also. Absolutely right. But at the same time, governance and financial reporting is very important, Amit, for the CFO. And that is how he's delegating things to the controller. So guys, how is the Josh? Come on. अरे उदी देखा नहीं क्या? Hi. Very good, Ekta. Only 1% Josh is high. We have spent our valuable 50 minutes. Very good. Good. Hi. Hi, sir. Nitesh says hi. Kamal Kishore says hi. What about others? How's the Josh, guys? Come on, come on, come on, come on. 90 लोग हो यार. Hi, sir. Good. Good, good, good. Good. So far, so good. So there's a lot more to cover and too little time. Okay. We have a special offer for all those who are really serious and want to upskill themselves and learn something new. And if you ask fast, I am going to give you an amazing deal. Okay, this is fine. Most people would procrastinate the decision making, and many people save pennies on upgrading themselves but are okay losing lakhs and making mistakes in financial statements and tax position. I'm sure all of you would agree to this. There is no second thought. A lot of IT companies recognize revenue as preponement of revenue by term unbilled revenue. Absolutely, Amit. We discussed all of this in our revenue accounting session. We discussed all of this in detail, right? Many choose to continue the routine and not draw their own career path. Only some of us are proactive to take action, sow the seed and reap the benefits. So how many of us are proactive? Can I understand? We have 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes undivided attention is what I'm asking, nothing else. How many of us are quite serious to take the action? Yes, yes, likho Suraf. Write a yes. Come on. Already you guys have said that you want to upskill yourself. You guys are serious. How many of you are ready to take action? Yes, Shobin, good. 1%, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, okay, 12, 13, 14. What about others? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. All of you have to be serious, yeah. I also take it very passionately and seriously. So you have to be serious. There is no other choice. Yeah. So here is the solution. So we at Contatra believe that there are 4 key elements in any business, and we have come with a very beautiful product. और अब इतने बैचेस के बाद छाती ठोक के बोलता हूँ, पूरे इंडिया में हमारे जैसा डिप IFRS कोई नहीं करता है. छाती ठोक के बोलता हूँ अभी. ओके, एंड आई विल गिव टेस्टिमोनियल्स आल्सो टू यू इन द नेक्स्ट 5 मिनट्स. ओके, पूरे इंडिया में, एंड आई बेट अपॉन इट. ओके, इतने बैचेस के बाद बोल रहा हूँ. You can look at my video content also, the kind of knowledge community what we are trying to build, because we are trying to exchange values. Okay, we are trying to exchange knowledge. कुत्ते के रेस में भागने जैसा हम लोग काम नहीं करते. Okay, we have a set of interactive sessions. This is what we do. DIP IFRS has become a mandate for every finance professional nowadays. Okay, so totally it is going to be about 110 hours of learning. Okay, we are the only people who do 20 hours of acumen also before that to test the effectiveness and the basic knowledge what you have. After that, basically, we give the access to the BLT, 60 hours of classroom coaching, which is the live coaching what we do, okay, which is on either a Saturday or a Sunday. And after that, there are live projects, and we completely prepare you for the exams, right? We take couple of mock exams also, right? And we give practical experience to people, and these are the rules. The exam dates are going to be September and December. People who want to give their exams in September, then they should not be joining this. Okay, they have to study on their own. Okay, people who are keen to give the exams in December should definitely join this, because the exams are going to be in December 20. We give all the course material. It's a single paper of 3.5 hours. Okay, passing marks is 50%. First question is consolidation marks 25. Now they have changed that also. And next 3 questions is also going to be 25 marks each. This is our clear USP. Okay, proudly Contetra announces this. We are only few organizations who basically keep the sessions completely interactive. You have already seen that today. We do mock test. We have our own state-of-the-art technology, which we do something before the classroom, something after the classroom also. Okay, exams will not be done from home at this point of time. September also it is going to be out of the Promatrix Center, Shubha. Okay, we give complete assistance in career development and also giving advice which are relevant for individual growth. Okay, we give the recording of all the 12 sessions. Okay, it's a completely superb learning path what we get into. Okay, we give the physical notes also during this COVID situation, which many of them are not able to do. It's a complete value proposition. This is the learning on BLT, guys. You start with ebooks, you do a pre-course, you do audio video, you come to the classroom, which is live webinar of 6 hours every weekend. You do a post test, and then you do live projects also, and then you appear for the examination, right? So how many of you are going to go for your DIP IFRS? Let me, give a couple of, these are some of the testimonials, just hear it out.
I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and I'm currently working with KPMG India. With God's grace, I cleared DIP IFRS in December 2019 attempt. So let's have a small chat about it. I decided to pursue DIP IFRS in the month of August 19, and I recollect I called one of my friends asking, saying that I'm a bit worried how will I manage my studies along with office. So she recommended me about Contetra, and after few research and comfort, I joined Contetra in the month of August 2019, and I attended all the classes sincerely. With a self-study of just 3 to 4 days, I cracked the exam with a very good score of 61 marks. So
she is a Big Four employee.
The best part about Contetra is the faculties at Contetra, or rather I should say faculties come industry expert at Contetra, not only guide you for the academics part of the exam, but they also train you regarding the real life examples and the challenges that are faced by industry. So I would recommend you to join Contetra whenever you wish to pursue DIP IFRS.
Let me give the second one.
Hi guys, I am Monica and I am working in ICICI Securities Limited as a manager in finance and accounts. I had appeared in December 2019 for diploma in IFRS and I cleared it in the very first attempt, and thanks to Contetra Universal for that. I appreciate this thing about Contetra Universal, that they not only tell you about the theoretical part, but they also help you in practical areas and the practical difficulties you face while implementing Ind AS or IFRS, and how should you deal with it. And they are available at any times whenever you need them to guide you, and they help you in any matter you need. Whenever you need them to guide you, and they help you in any
Okay, guys, whatever they said, they actually mean it. Let me tell you. And basically, they are people from KPMG and ICICI Securities, so they give a genuine feedback. And whatever they said, basically regarding the help, regarding the support, regarding the academic faculty and the industry faculty. So I'm one of the faculties. I take majority of the sessions, and you've already seen me. I am going to be the coach for all of you, and I would be more than happy to assist all of you. And this is a one-time opportunity, as I already said. There's only a knowledge building community what we are trying to build. Let me now publish the offer. So how many of you are going to be serious to take up this? Let me see how serious finance guys are. And we are dot at 4. That is a specialty what I stand for. How will it help for non-CA but MCOM, MBA finance graduate? Shobha, I have taken the DIP IFRS sessions for 100 people in first data, all of them non-chartered accountants. Out of the 92 passed the examination, and people who are working in finance department, it will help you to upskill yourself to the next level. So even if you're MBA, non-CA, there is no issue at all. Oh, Mahesh has joined. He has been my student. Mahesh, you would want to write something for my friends? How has been your experience so far? So how many of you are pretty serious to take this up? Nitesh is serious. Okay, good. Shraddha is serious. Okay. What about others? What about others? Yes, you can retake the exam very much. Without retaking also, you can join for the purpose of upgrading your knowledge, Amit. There is no issue, because what we teach is completely different than what you have learned. Good. Parvesh, good. 5 to 6 people already shown interest. Kalichan, good. Okay. What about others? What about others? What about others? Come on, I want to see 80 yeses. Yeah. What is the big deal in this? What's the big deal? It is about upskilling ourselves and putting money on ourselves here. What can be better than this? Yes? Yes, Mahesh says it's really nice. I'm serious to take this course and confident with your guidance will do this. Definitely, Mahesh. There's no second thought. Okay? This is the offer of diploma in IFRS. You can basically go to this landing page, register yourself. My sales guys will basically come to you and talk to you. Okay, I hope the moderators are able to view the offer. You can go to the landing page. You can probably register yourself for the DIP IFRS course. Okay, and people, before leaving the webinar, people who are not really confident about doing the IFRS, we are going to do an IFRS Acumen before that on July 3rd. Okay, it's for a nominal fee of 4,000 rupees. Evaluate yourself for that, and if you feel confident, then enroll for DIP IFRS. That is how I'll put it. It is going to be a 20-hour crash course. So Amit, you can enroll for that also. That is going to be the basic and refresher course for IFRS. It's going to be a beautiful journey. We are among pioneers who are giving technology, who are going to embed the learning through technology. We are going to do a practical case study, practical life study. We are going to do a lot of counseling sessions. It's going to be wonderful. And people who have already stayed with us, you can take the feedback from them also. So people who have already, shown the interest, I would request the moderator to get in touch with them. Guys, it's been a real pleasure. Go to the landing page, register yourselves. Let's get going. There is no need to think about it. It is ultimately putting money on yourself for a mere investment of 18 to 22,000. It's not a big deal to put money on ourselves and going to the next level in finance. Okay, I would be looking forward to see all of you. Okay, in the session. I am looking forward to see all of you. Bye bye, guys. Have a nice day. We have completed sharp at 4:03. Okay, I'm looking forward to meet all of you. Bye bye. Thank you. Fees is around 18 to 20,000. Tejasri, you can talk to the sales guys. It is a complete 100 hours of coaching what we give. So don't worry about that. Any questions you can ask, otherwise we are good to close. I hope you found this session also useful, independent of you joining the DIP IFRS course. No, Shobin, exam fees is separate. You get a discount because we are a ACA partner. Yes, Mahesh, you have already enrolled. We have more than 30 participants already in this batch. So let me be very upfront to you. People have already joined. We have more than 500 follow-ups, and you know, every day we get 3 to 4 people who are confirming their enrollment. So it's going to be a wonderful interaction with all of you. So I published the offer. All of you can look at that and, you know, go to the landing page, register yourself, and get in touch with my sales guys. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a real pleasure. It's a real pleasure to interact with all of you. I am hoping to see all of you on July 18th or July 3rd, whatever is convenient to you. Thank you, guys.